FBI has engaged in a number of top secret missions that they are not allowed to share with the world, until case files get leaked and then it becomes public knowledge. Today, let's take a look at some of the most shocking FBI reports in history, from cold cases to aliens. Let's talk about this and more only in today's video. Starting off this countdown, we have Carmen Galante. The FBI case file on Carmen Galante is incredibly detailed. They got everything from his birthplace to his draft registration. Carmen was an American mobster, otherwise called the cigar, because he was always seen with a cigar in hand or in his mouth. This guy has a long career of violence and potentially murder, which is why the FBI was on him. They were tracking his every move. They think that he committed over 80 murders. In 1960, he was convicted of drug trafficking. After his release in 1974, he became New York's organized crime top boss. However, his life of crime ended on July 12, 1979, after he was assassinated by his rivals. Moving on to number 9, we have the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. On February 14, 1929, Valentine's Day, a number of shooters gunned down 7 members of the North Side Chicago gang. This is said to be one of the most notable mass killings of the gangster era. Leaked FBI case files reveal information from the case from J. Edgar Hoover, former director of the FBI. One of the things was a letter from Hoover. In the letter he wrote, he believed that a Chicago newspaper had tapped the phones from the Chicago FBI office. This newspaper was always posting up-to-date and exclusive information about the case. How did they get access to this? Potentially by tapping the phones. Or Hoover also suggested maybe there was a mole in the office and that person was leaking the information to the newspaper. He wanted to spread a false rumor around the office and see if it made its way to the press, but he didn't end up doing this. 3 months later, he had the office investigated and found out that their phones were not tapped. Does that mean that there was a mole then? We still don't know. We also still don't know who the men were that committed the Valentine's Day murders. They believe that gunmen came into the area dressed as police officers and pretended to arrest the men before killing them. But no one was ever brought to trial for the murders. It remains one of the biggest unsolved crimes in history. In our 8th spot, we have the Black Dahlia. Now, this is a very famous crime that took place in January of 1947. On that day, Elizabeth Short was found dead in Los Angeles. Her body had been cut in half at the waist and entirely drained of blood, among other gruesome things. Due to the precision of the cut and the lack of mess, it was clear that the killer had experience working with bodies. But to this day, the killer has never been caught, and we don't know why Elizabeth was killed. The FBI report on this case is incredibly detailed, so if you're squeamish, I suggest you don't look it up. In fact, they thought that maybe the killer was actually a police officer, and that's why they could evade the law. To this day, this is one of the oldest unsolved cases in Los Angeles County, as well as one of the most famous unsolved murders in American history. In our 7th spot, we have the racism. Back in 2018, former FBI agent Terry Albury leaked FBI documents that showed the FBI was being racist and was using racial profiling. As a man of color, he was sick of the FBI doing this and decided to show the world how gross it was. He knew the repercussions and he was willing to take them. The leaked documents showed how the agency was using racial profiling in counter-terror investigations and revealed that the Bureau was harassing and intimidating minority communities. As a result of leaking these documents, Terry was sentenced to 4 years in prison. He sacrificed his life to help communities of color. In our 6th spot, we have the files on celebrities. So it turns out that the FBI has a number of secret files on a bunch of celebrities, including Jane Fonda, Elvis Presley, John Lennon, Charlie Chaplin, Michael Jackson, and so on. It's actually insane. They thought that these individuals were all a threat to the US, each having their own different reasons. For example, John Lennon was considered a huge threat for a number of reasons, like his anti-war activities and songs like Give Peace a Chance. Apparently, the Nixon administration did not like this, so in 1971, he was put under surveillance by the FBI. Charlie Chaplin also had a file for alleged ties to the Communist Party. Jane Fonda had a file for connections with anti-war activities, and Michael Jackson and Elvis Presley had files because of extortion attempts against them. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the JFK assassination. Pre-classified JFK assassination documents have just been released, including documents all on his killer, Lee Harvey Oswald. Now, there has been tons of debate over the years. Did he act alone, or was there more than one shooter? Some even think that Oswald worked for the CIA or had ties to them somehow. It's crazy. Well, it was finally revealed after investigating tens of thousands of leads that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. Now, could they have altered the documents to make us think this and clear the CIA? For sure. You decide what you want to believe. In our fourth spot, we have the UFOs. In 1972, Director of the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, denied that the FBI ever investigated UFOs or ETs. That was until recently. Leaked files prove otherwise. Shortly after World War II, the FBI joined forces with the Army and the CIA and NSA to collect evidence on aliens and interview witnesses who have claimed to have seen or come in contact with UFOs. One of the most popular files in the FBI vault is the Guy Hotel memo. The memo was from March 22nd, 1950, from Special Agent Guy Hotel. It was marked to J. Edgar Hoover. In the memo, he said that 3 flying saucers were recovered from New Mexico. Each saucer was occupied by 3 bodies of human shape, but were only 3 feet tall and were dressed in metallic cloth of a very fine texture. Sounds like they found aliens to me. Moving on to number 3, we have the 6 FBI agents. Just recently, it was revealed that 6 FBI agents apparently solicited and trafficked while on an assignment overseas. And then they were caught lying about it. Out of the agents accused of misconduct, 2 resigned, 2 retired, and 1 was removed while the Inspector General was investigating the incidents. And I think the last agent just knew what was going on and failed to report it. But since news broke literally 3 days ago, at the time of me recording this, there isn't much more information about this case. It's just massively shocking that FBI agents are engaging in illegal activities, but also does not surprise me. Moving on to number 2, we have the Alcatraz escape. Alcatraz is known as being an intense supermax prison. From 1934 to 1963, 36 men tried to escape. Either they were caught or they died trying. So it was thought to be impossible to escape from. That was until June of 1962. 3 inmates, John Anglin, his brother Clarence, and Frank Morris escaped. They put dummy heads they had made out of plaster and flesh tone paint in their beds to fool the night guards. They then crawled through ventilation ducts beneath their sinks that they had been widening for quite some time. Then they got out to an unmonitored corridor and they hopped over the cell wall. They then used a raft that they made using over 50 raincoats among other stolen and donated items, and they set off into the waters. The prisoners were never caught. The FBI files on this case suggest that they didn't make it to land for a number of reasons. Number 1, the cold water and strong currents would have made it hard for them to cross. 2, when on land, they would have probably stole clothes or a car, and neither of this was reported happening. And 3, if they did escape, they would have no money to support themselves. For 17 years, the FBI worked on this case. They officially closed it on December 31st, 1979. And in our number 1 spot today, we have Louie Louie. Louie Louie is a song written by Richard Berry in 1955. Now, what does this have anything to do with today's list? Well, this song was actually the subject of an FBI investigation for more than 2 years in the mid-1960s. If you listen to the song, it's pretty hard to understand what they're saying. Soon rumors were flying that the song was actually a secret dirty message. It was banned from playing on radios, and the FBI investigated the song and the band members. The FBI spent 2 years analyzing the song. They would play it at different speeds or play it backwards to try and decode the song. They finally gave up. So they wasted more than 2 years working on the case of a potentially dirty song. Ooh. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. Let me know in the comments below which one of these reports shocked you the most. And now, speaking of comments, let's move on to our comment shout out portion. I'll be shouting out comments from the video, top 10 diseases in outer space that are horrifying. Corey Briggs commented, I love watching the vids that you host in and your catchphrase ending. Love it. Top 10 rocks. No, you rock, Corey. You're the best. I'll see you when I see ya, Corey. Canon Provost commented, do more space videos. Sure, we totally can. If that's what you're into, just let me know ideas in the comments below, because we do so many space videos and I don't want to repeat topics. So leave us recommendations in the comments below. Thanks. Alright guys, that's all the comments I'm shouting out for today's video. Make sure to comment something down below for a chance to be featured in my next comment shout out. And as always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10 for more amazing videos. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and I'll see you when I see ya. Bye.